final item of business today is a members' business debate on motion number 12157 in the name of Graham Day on Earth Hour 2015. This debate will be concluded without any questions being put. I'd invite those members who wish to speak in the debate to please press the request to speak buttons now or as soon as possible. And I call on Mr Graham Day to open the debate. Mr Day, 7 minutes or thereby, please.
Thank you, Presiding Officer. The 9th annual WWF-inspired Earth Hour takes place this Saturday, March the 28th. For 60 minutes, 160+ countries and territories will come together to create a symbolic and spectacular lights-out display across the globe, aimed at highlighting the need to address climate change. Landmarks, including Times Square in New York, the Sydney Harbour Bridge, will feature, and they'll be joined here in Scotland by Edinburgh Castle, the Forth Rail Bridge, for the first time the Kelpies, and of course the Scottish Parliament. And with the critical international climate change summit due to take place in Paris later this year, the importance of Earth Hour 2015 cannot be overstated. We, collectively and as individual citizens, need to ramp up the pressure on world leaders to deliver a legally binding international deal which, in a fair and equitable way, delivers on restricting global temperature increases to less than the catastrophe that would be 2 degrees. Just as we collectively and as individuals require to ensure our own behaviours are those of environmentally responsible inhabitants of this planet. The need for tangible action becomes increasingly evident right here on our own doorstep. 2014 was the hottest and 4th wettest year for the UK since records began in 1910. The average temperature for 2014 was 9.9 degrees Celsius, 1 degree warmer than the UK's long-term average, fitting into the wider trend which shows that 8 of the UK's top 10 warmest years have occurred since 2002. As Bob Ward, Policy and Communications Director at the Grantham Research Institute on Climate Change and Environment, put it, 2014 was part of a pattern and clear evidence of the impact of man-made climate change on the UK. And the truth is we aren't responding, at least not to the extent we here in Scotland have acknowledged that we have to. By 2012, only Finland and Denmark within Europe had bettered Scotland's emissions reduction performance. But as we all know, we are, albeit readjustment of the baselines isn't helping, missing the early targets. And the trajectory from here on in gets much steeper and therefore far more challenging. However, the response to Earth Hour, although at face value a symbolic gesture, does suggest that the population increasingly is waking up to the situation. WWF found that 85% of the adults who had been involved in Earth Hour last year had felt inspired by the event to do more to protect the planet. So while it's a symbolic event, it appears to be making a difference in terms of raising awareness and inspiring more environmentally friendly behaviour. Since the UK first became involved with Earth Hour back in 2008, there has been a steady increase in participation at all levels. Last year, more than 1,000 businesses across these islands took part, ensuring hundreds of buildings were switched off across the country. Just short of 1,000 schools across Scotland participated, reaching over 2 million pupils. This year, the task is to create bunting with For the Love Of, highlighting the campaign started by WWF as part of the 100-strong Climate Coalition, which calls on people to share why they care about climate change by focusing on the many things about their lives that will be affected unless we tackle this global issue. It's not just members of the public that are showing enthusiasm for Earth Hour either. When I lodged this motion, I never thought for a moment that it would fail to receive the level of cross-party support required to secure this debate. But it says a lot about the subject matter that multiple members from every single party within this Parliament supported it. There's no doubt that this consensus over the importance of Earth Hour is evident at local authority level also. So let's give ourselves a pat on the back. Scotland is the first country in the world to have every local authority supporting the Earth Hour initiative. The Earth Hour 2015 Local Authority Initiative requires councils to do the following 3 basic things: switch off, turn off the lights in their town halls, headquarters and other landmarks, take part, promote WWF's Earth Hour to staff through emails and the intranet, encouraging them to sign up as individuals and take part in the event on a personal basis. Engage, make use of the websites, newsletters, Twitter, Facebook to encourage members of the public to sign up, demonstrating the support for action on climate change that exists in the local area. And if the local authority does an additional 3 activities from a top-up list, they are a WWF Scotland Super Local Authority badge recipient. These top-up activities include getting community planning partnership partners to sign up to Earth Hour, holding a major public countdown to the switch-off event, and talking to local businesses and organisations to get the lights switched off on iconic or important buildings or structures in the area. Presiding Officer, can I use tonight's platform to urge councils to pay particular heed to that last point, especially in relation to businesses occupying major retail parks? I find it utterly galling, the amount of electricity which is wasted lighting up shop fronts and vacant car parks in these places between the hours of dusk and dawn, where no one is window shopping. Switching off for Earth Hour would be a start down the road which sees them reduce energy consumption. And if security is a concern, then they could direct the savings to provide job opportunities for people to guard the premises. Last year, 14 councils were awarded the status of super local authority. My local council, Angus, is one of these. Angus Council will be switching off Council HQ, Angus House at Orchard Bank, county buildings and the Balmashanner War Memorial, and they'll be joined in taking this action by Historic Scotland Arbroath Abbey. Most schools in Angus will be involved doing various projects such as switching off appliances, signing up to switch off at home, etc. Last year, participating schools received feedback on their energy consumption during the Earth Hours. Figures returned by the Angus Carbon and Energy team showed that one primary school had an overall saving of 62 kilowatts, which would equate to £246.7 if continued over the year. This was equal to energy used by 6 houses in a day and the CO2 emissions of a car travelling 145 miles. The Council themselves are using Earth Hour as an opportunity to raise awareness about energy use and giving staff details of how to reduce their energy use. The Council are also encouraging community planning partners such as the Dundee and Angus College, NHS Tayside, Police Scotland, Scottish Enterprise, Scottish Fire and Rescue to get involved as well. So at that very local level, right across Scotland, we are taking that moment to think about and highlight the need for action on climate change, and hopefully sending the message that as citizens of this planet, we understand the need to change behaviour, and if our political leaders take the appropriate lead, they will also have our support. Presiding Officer, I will draw my contribution to the close here because I know there are a number of colleagues wanting to participate in this debate, and as with tackling climate change, the more who can contribute, the better. Thank you.
Thank you.